here we are, Lynn, Hogan and I, sitting on the rim of the legendary Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania. We've completed 16 days of a epic adventurous safari through Rwanda and much of Tanzania. We arrived in Tanzania about a week ago before doing the Serengeti, or exploring the Serengeti. The arrival process was very easy. Leaving Kigali, Rwanda, we had a COVID test done in Kigali, or before leaving the Volcanoes National Park. Those results were with us within 8 hours, and we proceeded across the border without any hassles or issues with our group of six clients, and arrived in Tanzania to another rapid COVID test, which was very easy and uninvasive. It was a throat swab. Those results came back to us within 8 hours, whilst we traveled to the Serengeti, and we had an absolutely magical time in the Serengeti. Very few vehicles. We witnessed an incredible crossing of the Mara River by thousands and thousands of wildebeest. We pretty much had it all to ourselves.
We did.
I mean, it's been an absolutely wonderful trip. Our clients are all very happy, relaxing in the main area on our last afternoon. We had a lovely morning in the Ngorongoro crater this morning. Had lions feeding on a wildebeest carcass and a lot of interactions with hyenas. And we're going to give you a little recap. This is the last afternoon of our safari. It's been an incredible adventure across East Africa. We've had to manage all of the COVID hoops and loops as we've moved along. And we're going to give you a last update on what it was like entering Tanzania and preparing to exit. Yes, preparing to exit. We had to get another test, obviously within 72 hours of departing Tanzania. All the clients fly back to the United States. I fly back to Cape Town. South Africa requires a valid negative PCR test within 72 hours of re-entering the country, as does the US. So Lynn, what's it been like? Leaving Kigali, entering Tanzania, what was that process like?
We just had to manage it, JD. We just had to have our information uploaded, prepared. We had codes that we used when we entered the country, and then we did the tests themselves, one at the airport. When we entered Tanzania, it was a rapid test, took 15 minutes, cost $20. We had our results, and then we were free to go into some amazing places. Serengeti, every camp was managed quite well. We were, hand sanitizing, our temperatures were taken, and all the staff are quite aware of COVID and wearing masks and being very careful around us. When we knew that we needed to get that last test, which was just a couple days ago, we had that prepared too, so we knew where to go, and the doctors, we were already ready to go with that, and that's something that we'll do for every safari. Just make sure that people know.
It's a very good point. Traveling with TMAC, we've researched every point of entry and hospitals, and particularly Tanzania. I personally, coming from South Africa, was fairly tentative about traveling through Tanzania, as there wasn't a lot of data available on the COVID situation on the ground since the passing of their last president, John Magufuli. His successor, President Hassan, has been very proactive in dealing with COVID on the ground here in Tanzania. Everyone we've spoken to has given us great insights into the preparation for their vaccine rollout, and the social distancing has been evident. Mask wearing is mandatory everywhere we've been. And the camps. I found that the Serengeti under canvas, with whom we stayed in northern Serengeti, did everything within their power to mitigate the risks as we arrived.
Absolutely. Their staff's been trained very well in the procedures and how to handle guests coming in from other places. And, there has been travelers. We've met people. It hasn't been full by any means, but, it's been lovely to be able to be here at this time. And we've mitigated every risk that we could. Now, if someone were to test positive along the way, we also have backup plans, and everyone's aware of the risks, and we know where they go if there was a quarantine situation. And we're also insured. We're fully insured with travel insurance, and that travel insurance does cover the cost of quarantine, the medical expenses, and getting people home safely, if they did potentially have to quarantine. So we've all been aware of those risks all along, and it's been manageable. We have had really, being here in these pristine forests and environments has just been such a treat, and I never really felt unsafe the whole way. How about you?
Yep, well worth the risk. I must say, I was tentative coming in. We did all of the homework, all of the research we could. We were in touch with all of the hospitals on the ground here in Ngorongoro Crater, where we went and took our COVID test. We met the doctors, the private physicians. I feel we did all the preparation we could, and the trip has been seamless. We haven't had a hiccup anywhere along the way. There've been a lot of new challenges, COVID hoops to deal with and manage. Getting the tests done, getting the results back within
We've been able
the
to handle a
expiry
lot
date.
of that behind the scenes, I think, for the most part.
Absolutely.
And so the guests haven't really needed to worry about those little details. We knew where we were going to get the tests. We managed it. There was a throat swab, nasal swab here at the FAME clinic, which is the local
clinic in
COVID.
Karatu, which
Yep.
is near the Lake Manyara airport at which you arrive coming into Ngorongoro. And that test was literally to allow us to return home. It was
Yes.
also a very uninvasive throat swab. We got our results back today, and we're all free to return home. If someone had to be quarantined in the unfortunate event that a client or one of us tested positive, we know where the quarantine facilities are. They're comfortable, Wi-Fi. As Lynn mentioned, there is insurance to cover that. That remains the biggest risk to traveling at the moment. But
Exactly.
from our side on the ground in Tanzania, and having traveled through Rwanda over the past 3 weeks,
Yeah.
everything else, every other COVID protocol and requirement has been completely manageable.
Yeah.
And the rewards for taking
Oh,
those risks
The
have been
sightings
immense.
have been amazing. Yeah. So cheers, everyone, from on the ground, Tanzania.
Cheerio.
Cheers.